Hi, everybody. I'm David from Under the Arch Sports, and today we're going to be talking a little Cardinal baseball. But before we do that, please remember to hit the subscribe button for our YouTube channel. Check out our Facebook and Instagram pages. Now, today we're going to be talking a little bit about the Cardinals and the trade deadline coming up. The Cardinals are playing a 500 baseball right now. They're sitting right on around the 500 mark, give or take, as each day progresses. They haven't had a whole lot of ground gain on Milwaukee, and are currently sitting third in the division and around, I'd say, 7 or 8 games back in the wild card. So, based off that information, the question comes down to what are the Cardinals going to be doing during the trade deadline? That's the question everybody wants to know, and I think the organization is even trying to figure that out themselves. If you're talking a playoff run, there could be a push. The Cardinals tend to do better in the second half of the season. However, the way Milwaukee's been playing, I am not sure they're going to be able to pull anything off to come back and take the division. If that's the case, then you're looking at the wild card, and the Bats really have to do a whole lot more if they want to roll off a bunch of wins to get back into the wild card race. So the question comes down to what are they going to do for the trade deadline? Are they buyers? Are they sellers? If you take a look at the Cardinal roster, we have a lot of young guys. However, I think John Mozeliak is looking at those guys as a key foundation for our club. Therefore, he's not going to be willing to let them go. And if he does let them go, he's got to get a lot in return. So when you look at that aspect of things and kind of what the team has in the AAA or minor league affiliates, there's not a whole lot I think the Cardinals can do. Jack Flaherty, Miles Mikolas are both going through rehab starts. Both are projected to be coming back in a couple of weeks, possibly mid-August, is what they're saying. Earlier, we thought they'd be coming up by the beginning of August. The fact that delaying that shows they're not going to have the two piggyback off each other in one game. Instead, they want to build them up so they can take over in the rotation. So that tells me we got another 2 weeks of just filling in for Jack. And I don't know how long the Cardinals can last. They've had some really good pitching recently. However, one can't expect that to continue with Oviedo and LeBlanc and all those other guys filling in. Eventually, the train is going to run off the track, if you will, as an analogy. And the team is going to really start struggling if they don't get those spots filled. The Cardinals are going to have to look around for maybe a 4 or 5 type pitcher in a rotation, someone low on the list, someone outside the box. Mozeliak, that's usually his MO, is finding a trade that nobody is thinking about, finding someone who could eat up some innings and take up some time, solidify the rotation until Jack and Mikolas can come back after they've shown they're healthy and they've built up their arm strength. Also, I could see Mozeliak doing something like trading for a reliever in the bullpen to help out the bullpen. However, I think really the strongest need at this point would be another starting pitcher. Again, due to the market right now and everybody's needs, a pitcher like Max Scherzer is just going to go for way too much. I do not see the Cardinals going after a Max Scherzer right now. They're going to be going for a 3, 4, or 5 type starter, someone who can just eat innings, give the bullpen some relief, and buy the team time to get Flaherty and Mikolas back. Because of that, I don't see the Cardinals doing a whole lot of movement. If they were going to do something, I felt like they were going to do it a couple of days before the trade deadline. Because the moment Max Scherzer falls, these teams looking for pitching are going to move on, kind of like the Cardinals would, to the mid-level tier pitchers, and the demand for them is going to go through the roof. And therefore, the teams who have those pitchers who can trade them off are going to be asking for the moon based off the demand. So if the team was going to do something, I feel like they would have had to have done it fairly early before Max Scherzer fell, because once these playoff teams start looking for another pitcher, the asking price for these pitchers are going to go through the roof. Based off that, I really don't see the organization making a move It might make a lot of people frustrated or angry, but that's the way it is. At the same time, I don't see them trading anybody away to get prospects either. I think the team's just going to hold pat, see if they can make the run, and if they can't, they're going to plan for 2022 after the bargaining meetings and then free agency hits. Who knows what's going to happen? We might have a DH in the National League coming up. But as for this trade deadline, I don't think the Cardinals are going to be doing much. That's just my opinion. We're going to have to sit back, wait and see, and hopefully the club can get something going and get on a run instead of just continuing to play this 500 level baseball. That's all I have for today's Under the Arch. Please remember to stay tuned for all sports updates for St. Louis and Mizzou. Everybody have a good one. Take care.